When I was little, in the denomination I grew up, God was very judgmental, he was very hateful, and he was certainly not approachable. I got baptized like 10 times because I had to make sure it was right. Anytime there was an altar call, I was like, well, I better, I don't know if I sin today, I better go get it right. So there was this journey to rightness, and it is so not what Jesus meant for us.
Inman Coffee is a full-service coffee house. Southern Living Magazine named us one of the best shops in the South. We are owned and operated by the Salvation Army, and we're opened as a relational ministry center here in Cleveland, Tennessee. It's an intentional place of building relationships with others and loving them in a way that leads them to the love of God. We're in the buckle of the Bible Belt. In this county of 118,000, in this town of 40,000, there are 300 churches plus. There are 7 denominations that have headquarters. But the church attendance average is still less than 15-20% of the population. They have experienced some kind of wounding from inside of a church community.
As I got older, as I started listening and I started thinking for myself, I've just found a massive disparity between the life and actions of Jesus Christ and the church institutions that I've grown up around. I mean, everything from disparaging any sort of difficult conversations that maybe kind of go against the narrative to some really terrible things like covering up abuse. And that did sort of build up over years and years and years to a point of bitterness.
My mom died when I was a kid, and my dad was like a massive drug addict, alcoholic. I grew up in a church where members of my church that were struggling with their marriages, we didn't talk about them. We just sat them in the back row instead. And it'd be like, don't do that, or sit on the front row and be quiet and show up looking your best and being your best. Okay, well, what if I'm not doing my best? Who's there for me? Well, who can I go to? I didn't really know where I fit in with this God that they talked about, because I have to be fake. I have to be this face, this mask with God too.
When I was 40 years old, I found myself at the end of myself and said I would never be a part of organized religion again, because I had gone far and I had gone deep. So to be able to share that with other people who have the same shame, the same, I've gone too far, if you only knew what I've done. And so I began to pray for the Lord to open a door for me to work full-time ministry to reach those people.
We're not just slinging coffee. We don't hire baristas. We hire barista/youth ministry workers because we want them to come with that perspective of every day behind the counter. I might be the one that a customer comes in and just locks onto me and realize it's a safe zone.
I mean, people be very real with their prayer requests, and they felt comfortable enough to say whatever they needed to say.
We thought, man, it's going to take a little bit to establish ourselves in people's lives. But what we saw was they were immediately feeling so welcome that they were staying for hours their first visit. And we were seeing that community form really early.
They go deep so that these kids can carry less with them into adulthood than we did.
That's literally what we pray for, is like, God, send us people who just don't know where to go. If nothing else, that people see Inman as a place that's safe, that if they're feeling wounded, hobble on in here. We may not be able to patch it up completely, but we're gonna start treating it. We just want to be a part of the healing.
Getting to watch and observe that as I first got here restored a lot of faith in the church for me. I knew this was a really special place. I'm in the kind of church group that I always wanted to exist.
Inman became home. It became a place that I felt comfortable enough to cry. It was, we're here in your grief, in your loss with you.
God replaced that cloak of shame with the robe of his righteousness. And if he did it for me, he's going to do it for them.
God has sent us so many amazing people who have come in with some level of wounding and have left empowered to not just be a part of the faith community again, but to be a part of sharing the faith.
Through our love and our kindness, we can show them that whatever their dirty laundry looks like, God's going to show up and love them anyways.
If you enjoyed this video, like it and share it. We are always posting content, so don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for helping us share change.